Hi friends, I'm Katie and welcome back to the Dragon Horde. We're going to try and do a little May reading wrap up before this storm hits us. We have a nice big storm barreling towards us. So excuse my frizzy hair from the humidity and all the fun, but we're gonna try and get through this. I read 6 books in May and I've already posted like my June plans and my summer ween plans. That all starts on Sunday and I'm really, really excited. But let's just talk about the books that I read this past May as I watch my lighting change in real time because I use a lot of natural light for my stuff. But first I want to talk about Snow Globe 2. This is by So Young Park. I really, really enjoy book 1, but since it is the second in duology, a lot happens in book 1, so I'm not going to talk too much about that because I don't like spoilers and I am terrified I'm going to spoil something for someone. So you'll see me looking down simply because I'm trying to read what I wrote. And I didn't think this through and didn't think I should type this out first. No, I just want to get this done because it's been a week. But is this this is of course the sequel to Snow Globe. Snow Globe takes place in the climate-controlled Snow Globe. While the outside world is a frozen wasteland, the residents of Snow Globe have their dramatized lives broadcast to those stuck on the outside. Chobam, who is our main character, takes an actress's place in the Snow Globe and uncovers sinister plots within. Book 2 follows the after effects of Snow Globe and is a very thrilling dystopian tale. And I am kind of obsessed with the first book. Book 2 was interesting and I really enjoyed it, but like book 1 was just so much. Like I would love to see a K-drama of this one. I think it would actually be really good. But thank you to PRH Audio for allowing me to read most of the books I'm going to talk about. Snow Globe 2 is one of them, thanks to them. As well as the next one, I think was also one of theirs that I read through their, I am a influencer with PRJ Audio. So I get a lot of audiobooks through them. Because then I read Summer Girls by Jennifer Dugan. I like Jennifer Dugan. I have also read, oh God, I moved all those. I think Love at First Set was the last one I read of hers. But this one's really interesting. I really liked my review. So y'all are going to get just straight up what I wrote because I was really proud of this. But Cass has a rule: never date a summer girl. She's known Birdie since they were kids, just like her audience. Birdie is a teen influencer who has her life turned upside down after an incident that was broadcasted live to her followers. Cass is asked to help Birdie live like a normal teenager for the summer, the last thing either girl wants to do. The two get to know each other better, and Cass struggles to not break her rule. There is a lot of discussion of gentrification and class consciousness in this, which I really appreciated because Cass lives on like a small island with her family that is slowly being just kind of bought up by, rich people, and one of those rich people is Birdie's dad, and there's a lot going on with it. There's a lot of discussion within those things. And it's not a coming out story because technically one of the characters, she has already come out, but she's having to do it again, which is kind of frustrating when you have to keep repeating yourself. But I really enjoyed this. I like Jennifer Dugan's writing. And it is YA, so there is that. It is YA, but I really enjoyed that one as well. Speaking of more romance, because I'm not usually a big romance reader, but I read 2 this month, so maybe I am. Who knows? Because I also read Dream On Ramona Riley by Ashley Herring Blake. And I really, really love Ashley Herring Blake's work. My friend got me into it, and thank you, Lauren. And I've been kind of stuck on it ever since. Ramona Riley's life is forever changed after her mother leaves her family behind. While attending an art school for costume design, she returns to her hometown to help care for her little sister after her dad gets into a car accident. She takes up a job at the local cafe and helps raise her little sister. Dylan is a chaotic Nepo baby trying to prove her talent and skill and accepts a role in a romantic comedy set in the same small town she shared her first kiss with years before. So there's some history. Ramona's little cafe is taken over with filming and is shadowed by Dylan for the role. The two must navigate their budding romance, their personal histories, and what the future holds. This one was really cute and really sweet. Small town romance kind of vibes, but not, because one's an actress and the other one wants to be in costume design, which was also, of course, important to the storyline. I love Ashley Herring Blake. I love her writing, her stories, all of that. So I really, really enjoyed this one. My lighting is changing so much on me. Like, it's hard for me to see what I wrote. Because the last 3 books that I read were all dragon books, because that's who I am. That's why we're here. So seriously, I'll be able to tell once I edit, but like the lighting is changing so much on me all of a sudden. I literally just finished this and I absolutely loved it. I've told my friend Lauren, who, of course, if you know, we have the podcast together, that I've been looking for a really good Beauty and the Beast retelling for a very long time. This isn't exactly a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It's inspired by Beauty and the Beast, but it's got some little Easter eggs in it that really brings you back. And I really enjoyed it. But A Forgery of Fate by Elizabeth Lim. Trian is an art forager trying her best to support her family after her father is lost at sea. She has a unique ability to paint the future. After her family is threatened due to her mother's gambling debts, to save her family and hopefully find her father, she agrees to marry the half-dragon prince and live in his undersea palace. The Dragon Prince wants to overturn the Dragon King's tyrannical rule and break his curse. Inspired by Beauty and the Beast, this marriage of convenience filled with magical creatures may just be one of my favorite reads of the year. It was truly so good, and there was so much I didn't see coming. I really loved like the undersea world and the things they had to do so she could breathe underwater and do everything else. She's searching for her father who was lost at sea. And it is YA, but it's really sweet. It approaches love differently than I'm used to seeing. So I really enjoyed this one. This might actually be one of my favorite stories. But I am saving my actual favorite for last. A favorite that I fully did not expect to love as much as I did. Not gonna lie, because if you know me, I'm not the greatest with romantasy. But the last one I read, I actually have my copy right here. I had to do the audio because it took me a little bit to get into this one. And I was able to finish thanks to an audio. But this ends in Embers. This is the special cover I bought the one that came with the dust jacket for 1 and 2 so that I had matching dust jackets. But it's really good. It's by Camilla Cole. But this is the second in a duology. It picks up right after the end of So Let Them Burn. We follow Farron and Alara in their struggle to save their home and find each other. The author really expands more on the world building as well as the gods within the sequel, which I found very interesting. And I just really enjoyed the narration. The narrator, whose name I did not write down and I feel terrible for now, did a really great job. There were a lot of words that I suddenly realized I was not pronouncing correctly. But if you're looking for a Jamaican-inspired fantasy, this duology is definitely for you. Book 1 is called So Let Them Burn, and it's by Camilla Cole. And then the book that really surprised me is A Fate Forged in Fire by Hazel McBride. So much happens in this. Okay, I'm just going to read this. Amira believes she is the rightful queen and lays in wait for her chance to reclaim the throne. The true religion has snaked its way into the royal court and takes over, while the Mad King rules. There's only a handful of dragons left in the world, and Amira must bond with one to come to her full power and fight back. She truly cares for her people and must combat the royal family as well as the patriarchal religion that is rapidly spreading. This captivating story traverses the struggle of living under a misogynistic rule as well as a genuine enemies to lovers you've never seen before. This one I found very interesting because the first half of the book, I swear, I think it was at 46%, at which point it finally moved forward in a way that I enjoyed. And I'm going to fully admit that. And you definitely need to look into trigger warnings for this one. But this came out this past Tuesday. I had the e-arc. I had already started it. I made it to halfway, and then I went, oh, I can listen to the rest of this on Spotify and get through it a little bit quicker and try to write my review because I've been wanting to get my NetGalley score up. And I'm like, all right, I was reached a point. I was like, we got to get through this book because I'm really trying to work on my NetGalley. We're gonna finish this one, and it's Dragons. And I really wanted to talk about it. And then I get to the halfway point, and things really started to get interesting. And I'm not usually one for spice either, but I actually enjoyed straight spice in a book. I don't understand it either, but we're here and it happened. But it does. It starts off that it's Scottish inspired. I think the author herself is also Scottish. If I'm wrong there, please yell at me. But she did a really great job. She's the first half is very formulaic, I would say, to what a romantasy book is, but this very quickly turns back to no, this is fantasy with a romance subplot, a really good enemies to lovers subplot, because I've been really sick of picking up an enemies to lovers book and it's this is what it is, and it ends up being maybe rivals to lovers, they're not actually enemies and they get along too quick. This was very much a slow burn. We are enemies. That is my throne, not your brother's type situation. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it, and I'm thankful. But what really got me and kept me staying for the story was the religion aspect. You have this, they have this temple. They're always honoring Bridget and other gods and goddesses, I think. I think it was very much a polytheistic society. They were a matriarchal society, so like they had a long, long line of queens, but the last so many years, it's only been sons that have been born, so they've been only having male heirs. And so she is supposed to be like the actual like rightful queen, and when she like tries to do their coup and tries to take power, it doesn't go as they planned because of this other religion that says they are the chosen. They have their one savior. And it's a very misogynistic religion that women are below and only there to make babies. And she's constantly combating this and fighting not only for her people, but for their societal norms and what they actually believe to be a healthier way to interact with one another. And there were parts that I was like, I don't know if I can keep reading this because it was kind of graphic and I wasn't expecting it. But then I saw what the author was trying to do, and it was actually really interesting. And I'm obsessed with it now. I still took away a star because some of the misogyny was really hard to like read, because there was a portion that I'm just like, I don't need this much detail about a man's genitalia, but thank you so much for this. That's exactly what I needed on a Friday morning, but thank you so much. But apart from that, like barring that, it's still like a good solid 4 stars. Like I think she actually did a really, really great job with the narrative within, because it's not a happily ever after. It's not what you expect at the end. The ending, I think, is what really did it for me, and I was so shocked, and I'm just like, I need book 2. I'm saying this about, and like it's marketed as romantasy, but I personally would have more so this is a fantasy with romantic subplots. But no, I think that might be my favorite one out of the bunch this month, because I am continuing my weekend reads, because I mean, it's the 30th. So like tomorrow's like the last day of May. So I'm doing this now because who knows what'll actually happen between, let's see, it's like 2:00 in the afternoon as I'm recording this today until like tomorrow. And then Sunday is the first day of Summerween and my summer trek to Mordor. If you want to know more about that, check out the previous video. So this is what I'm starting immediately. So I'm starting my Lord of the Rings, of course, on Sunday as I walk. But that's just for like when I'm walking. I will also be reading Pearl City. I am not ready at all to read this book, but it is time. I've been on this ride with Julia and Ken since the beginning when I requested Ebony Gate. Like, I want to tear up already. Like, I don't think you guys understand how much this series truly means to me. So if you haven't read The Phoenix Horde, the first book is Ebony Gate. The third one comes out in July. And I am not ready. Like, I already know I'm going to cry because I don't want this to end. But it's time, and I'm really sad. And then apart from that, I also really need to get this read because Lauren and I have our own book club, the Pedantic Book Club, where we read books that have been either adapted to TV or film, or have or like a classical retelling, which is what we're doing with this one. This is The Crimson Crown by Heather Walter. This was nominated by one of our patrons, and I'm really excited to read it. But this is far more like in depth whenever I read books for this, because we go into the podcast and discuss it. I get the iPad out, I get the my annotation supplies, I get my highlighters, I go ham. And this one I'm so excited for because that is the floppiest book ever. Like, this is the perfect book for annotating. Like, I'm not even kidding. I am so excited. Like, it's just, I can't help it. I'm so excited for this. But those are the first 2 that are up. I started Heads Will Roll. Thank you, PRH Audio. The author's name... I'm so bad at this. I started Heads Will Roll. This is by Josh Winning, and I'm doing the audiobook on PRH Audio. So, we're doing some Summerween reads. My God, the humidity. As well as high fantasy this summer. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm trying to get better about my book reviews. I hope it's getting better, but, you know, it's just something I have to continue to work on. So first, I do want to see if I can get this to actually record. But we have a tie in my book club, and so I need to see about fixing that. Okay, so it looks like we will be reading The Tea Dragon Society for my Dragon Book Club for the month of June. These are it's a really cute graphic novel series by Kay O'Neill. Just if you have any thoughts, if you want to join the Dragon Book Club, if you're in the Dragon Book Club, just post, do you want to do the first one or the first 3? I'll ask that question in there, like on this video. Just tell me, do you want to do 1 or 3? And I'll make sure to put out that message as well so we know how many we are doing. But yeah, no. So there's for the Dragon Book Club. My Summerween post, the packs will be out tomorrow to be ready all for Summerween, and the template for all of the Summer Trek to Mordor is up and available as well. So we have a lot of stuff going on. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? There's so much. I might have been a little overzealous. And as always, a big thank you to my patrons, to my little wyverns, Kelly, Jude, Becca, and Sammy, and to my whimsical worms, Jessica, Ava, and Lauren. Thank you guys so much. This is why I keep doing this. And please like, subscribe, and follow along for more.